experiment, people accepted it warmly, and I'm so grateful for the people who contributed and for the people who are its audience. And this segues beautifully into one of the big ideas for this year, which I'm in the middle of just now. We will have a real life Lonely Hearts Club. So I'm working on a performance where we can bring erotica possibly to a live audience, possibly to a half live, half virtual audience. And today, as we speak, I started a writing workshop with 8 participants who had already contributed to Lonely Hearts Club last year. So we're doing a workshop it started yesterday, starting for the next week to write erotica for performance. And it's being facilitated by 4 different facilitators. I wanted to break the idea of a single facilitator, so decentralizing the writing process, which is very important to me politically as a documentary filmmaker. I don't enjoy the idea of a single playwright. So we're in the middle of a writing workshop, writing erotica for performance and what has happened to erotica during and post-pandemic. So hopefully I can open Real Life Lonely Hearts Club in September. And again, I'm working with non-actors, and I think it does represent a very wide variety of artists and practices. There's a photographer, there's a filmmaker, there's a sociologist, and we're really trying to understand what is this language of erotica online. And if all goes well, there will be an opening in September, and it will be part digital, part live. So that's the big project that I have carried forth, and like most of my projects, they're very long. They take long to make. Lonely Hearts Club has already existed for 1 year, and this next 2 or 3 months we'll be writing it and then we perform it. And it's process work. I think that's also what has kept me going in the last 6 months. I haven't produced anything from January to June, but there's also been a lot of reflection, a lot of thinking around what happened, because last year I jumped without knowing the rules, and there's some excitement to that, but we needed a moment of pause. I needed to breathe, really. And there were many projects. I also ended up last year with the Serendipity Arts Festival. I made a virtual reality project with my colleague Kai, and that was a whole new world. So really to take a step back and to think about what we made and to now write what that language is. So I've really been also working on 2 longer essays to write about what I made last year. Okay, so like I was saying, that I've spent this year trying to reflect and really understand what is the language that has emerged for me as a performance maker. Where last year it was, like you said, experimental. I was trying stuff, but I think now I need to commit to a certain grammar. And so this year, the other big project that I've been preparing is called White Money. It is a project that began in Germany, actually, with Flinworks, with Sophia Steff and Konrad N. They approached 6 artists from the global south. So I am there from India. There are people from Nigeria, Iran, Egypt, Tanzania, and these are individual projects, and each of us as performance makers have to respond to the theme of white money. What does it mean in the global south, to receive money from the global north, and what do I make of it? What are the funding structures that I operate within as an artist? Is white money dirty money? Is it good money? Does it come with certain ideas of colonial control? Can I subvert it? So I will be making a performance by November that will hopefully open in Germany. But I'm making a performance based on research, based on the idea of how money travels and my role as a cultural agent in this idea of white money. So I'm going to be a double agent, essentially. So it's going to be a playful take on the artist as a double agent between the global north, global south, and we have our own colonial structures within India and the arts field. So it's a playful project on funding.